Alright, this is going to be an audio commentary between Vortix and X on Tyrannus Stand. This is an Undead versus Night Elf matchup. Very, very good game. I had a couple laps watching it, and just a lot of good inventive plays by Night Elf and the Undead player. Now we have the Night Elf player going the Warden and building an Ancient of War, going to be doing an Ancient of War Archer creep. Meanwhile, we have the Death Knight being trained. Death Knight coming out a little bit late, no graveyard, so we're going to be expecting ghouls from the Undead player. Now here we have the Acolyte doing some pretty good harass here, trying to do damage to that Wisp, trying to make it so that that Wisp is unable to heal that Ancient of War, perhaps. If Moon or X gets a little bit careless, he will lose that Ancient of War, but no, he does go ahead and pull it back. Meanwhile, we have a good use of the Lightning Shield, making sure that that Lightning Shield does not do the final damage in taking out any of those units. Otherwise, you don't get the experience. So here we have the Archers finally taking down these last two units. The Tree of War is not getting in those last hits, because if the Ancient of War gets the killing blow, you do not get the experience from that kill. So now we have a Warden picking up a Circuit of Nobility, a nice item from this particular drop. Here we have the Warden going ahead and taking out these three Apprentice Wizards, and quickly getting level 2, and drops a Cloak of Shadows. Useless item for the Warden, but still 50 gold nonetheless. Now we have the Undead player here coming in with a Rod of Necromancy and some Dust of Appearance, and is going to be trying to do some harassing here. Now, I do question Undead's approach here, because I don't believe the Undead player actually goes south to pick up some of the skeletons that the Night Elf has so easily provided for them. He goes in and tries to come in and is going to try to take down those buildings. He should really start focusing down that back Moonwell, try to take it down, and then is unable to. We do have a Death Coil to save that one particular ghoul, so that ghoul is low on hit points. Meanwhile, we have 200 hit point ghouls trying to pull to the back, and Undead knowing that that Shadow Strike is just so powerful against those ghouls that he doesn't want to perhaps lose it. So now we have another ghoul down to, the ghoul is saved back to 276 hit points, so we have a quick Dispel or Detonate on the Death Knight to save him, this particular unit. Now the Death Knight here makes a mistake. The Death Knight does have enough hit of mana to save that ghoul, but for some reason he doesn't try to save it anytime soon. There's a Death Coil, and the Death Coil is unused as the Shadow Strike finishes it off. So, you know, misplay by the Undead player there. He wastes 75 mana, unable to save a ghoul. Meanwhile, we have a nice blink by the Warden, level 2 Warden. So now we know that there's not going to be any surrounds by the Undead player. Warden's going to go ahead and head out, probably to do some creeping of some sort. Meanwhile, we have Wisp, we have Tree of Ages being teched by the Night Elf player by X-Moon, and we have Vortix already on Halls of the Dead, quickly getting a graveyard up. Undead currently doesn't have any experience, so is going to need to get to level 2 in a hurry. Meanwhile, we have the Warden coming in with 5 archers, and we are going to be seeing an Ancient of War creep that's going to tank this fight. So up here, we have the Death Knight trying to quickly take it down one particular Shadow Priest, trying to keep the damage off of the Death Knight. Kills out 2 particular units, and is going to head and bring up some skeletons. Meanwhile, we have the Ancient of War fighting down, taking the majority of the damage against all these units here, all piercing damage pretty much. So, but they do have a normal or heavy armor, so those archers are able to do full damage to this particular creep. That creep going down fairly quickly. We have a Sentry Ward and a Staff of Teleportation and Boots of Speed on the Warden. Meanwhile, we have we had a Lightning Shield, but that was quickly sold. We have 2 Dust of Appearance charges and a Rod of Necromancy. Now we have the moonsfans X's Wisp scouting here, trying to gather some wood over on the north side. So we are going to see, we are going to know where the Warden's going to know where the Death Knight is at this time. So we have creeping the Renegade Wizard camp. Well, all these units have, or the Renegade Wizard has normal armor, so that is going to quickly go down. Glove of Haste pickup by the Death Knight in just a second if you can get in there. And now we have a Wisp being pulled off a little bit further away, just in case he doesn't want to get harassed by the Death Knight. Now here we have the Warden coming in. Warden's coming in, tries to get a couple hits, gets a Shadow Strike. Is going to go ahead and blink out and come in here, and we have a quick Detonate, so that takes down 4 skeletons. Very nice move by Moon X. We have a Shadow Strike, and now the Death Knight forced to kill his own ghouls, takes down 2 ghouls to deny the Warden any experience from those kills. He does do a quick hide and tries to circling around trying to find some way to do additional damage. We have skeletal minions coming down. Meanwhile, we have a Tree of Ages nearing completion, and we have 6 archers heading to the center of the map. Warden trying to get into the back. Now, this base build is very hard to get to the back here. We do have a blink. We have a Shadow Strike, and they can blink to the back, but with the Undead player coming in, you go ahead and use a Staff of Teleportation and quickly heals herself at the Moonwells, and is going to go ahead and head back up to the north. Meanwhile, we have a Pandarian Brewmaster being teched by the Night Elf player. So we have a Panda and a level 3 Warden at this time versus a level 2 Death Knight and a Lich that is currently underway. We have a Black Citadel being researched, and we have the Warden coming in. Does have a Clarity Potion. That so much mana on that Warden, it is going to be difficult. You have a Shadow Strike and Coil trying to save that one particular ghoul. Is that ghoul going to be able to get away? I think not. Down to 37 hit points. One more hit and then the timer on that is going to kill him. So we have another Shadow Strike on another ghoul. Warden going ghoul hunting with that Shadow Strike. Ghoul's unable to run away, and down goes another ghoul. Meanwhile, we have an Ancient of War towards the south side, trying to creep this camp, using Lightning Sheet, but once again very well to try to do additional damage. Pulls off away just, and now we have another Lightning Shield. So Renegade Wizards trying to take down that Ancient of War. Ancient of War pulling to the back so that it doesn't take any additional damage, trying to save the Ancient of War. We have a little dance between the Warden and the Lich. Lich gets the Gloves of Haste, so able to fire a little bit faster. That's an important point. Transferring your items between your 2 heroes, making sure that units that will eventually get the Orb of Corruption has that Glove of Haste, so that you can spread that -5 armor. Also, Boots of Speed, transferring it from your Archmage to your MK if you're a human player. Therefore, having your MK being able to Stormbolt units a little bit better. Transferring items is always a good idea, because something that's good for one particular hero early game may be better on another hero mid game. Now we have the Pandarian Brewmaster here who picked up a True Shot aura, so all of these archers doing additional damage. Very nice. Apprentice Wizard is going to go ahead and go down, so we have Circling Nobility and a True Shot aura on the Panda. Panda is now able to fight very well. Warden is now forced to escape, but that is a lot of ghouls, and Undead going ghouls for so long, I have to question that, especially because the Warden's been picking off ghouls left and right. So I don't know if you want to continue trying to mass a unit that's going to be so easily killed. Warden's going to go ahead and run back to her base. We have an Ancient of War outside the mercenary camp, ready to creep as soon on a moment's notice. So we have a Nightstone here. We have now the Dark Ranger being teched from tier 3 Undead players. So we have Tri Hero with the Dark Ranger. We have Quick Archer that goes down. Now we have Dryads joining in the fight. Now we have Drunken Haze, and Warden is Frost Nova and Coil, so able to now needs to pull back. That Panda can get out, yes, gets a Breath of Fire in there. So all those units now going to go quickly go down, but that Panda is taking damage in a hurry. Trying to run back quickly, uses a potion, but that Panda does look like it's going to go down unless Warden's going to get in its way. Quickly uses the Moonwell, trying to get down with Coil on the Panda, and the Panda goes down. So with your base builds like this, be careful with your units and make sure that your heroes don't block each other. We could have seen another rejuvenation. I could have sworn I saw rejuvenation earlier. Yeah, there is a bear on the Panda to try to pull. Now here we have units just pulling back and forth. They're like trying to exchange units here. Very important to see whichever player makes additional mistakes. So we have Wardens and Archers trying to hit left and right. We have a bear joining in the fight, and at this time, we have Death Coil on the Warden. Warden trying to pull back. We have Death Knight trying to push, trying to figure out what exactly to do. Warden now gets enough mana. Is he gonna get the Shadow Strike? And at this point, I have to pause the game so that I don't go over my 10-minute time limit. Go ahead and stay tuned for part 2.